How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and tonight I've just been messing around again, really. I've been testing some things out, testing the physics with the trailers, how long I could make my dolphin train. I've been playing around with this because I'm going to review this pretty soon as well. This and the TranStar, there's a TUZ166 to do. I just wanted to mention this quickly before I get into the trailers. There's like a big ice hill on the game that was pretty good, sort of testing a few things out. Obviously chain tyres go there pretty well. It's pretty near to the Lake Cov garage. Like if you sort of come out the garage the way I usually do, where there used to be fences there, I believe they've removed them, drive out onto the ice and it's just kind of to your left. I suppose it's like, it looks on the map like a pathway into behind where them bunkers are, but I never actually went this way. If you remember, I just drove over the rocks. Like I sort of came this way, like the opposite to which way I'm driving now. I've just gone over the bunker, and that was about it, really. I was pretty happy with how it rolled back to its wheels. We'll see, though. It didn't do that every time, but yeah, like I say, the reason I just wanted to have a little refresher with these and the TranStar and that is because obviously they've done a fair amount of updates. Well, not loads, but you know what I mean. Since the last time I really properly drove this was pretty near the beginning of the game, so rather than just jumping straight into the review and learning as I go through the review, yeah, I like to have a little blast with them and get used to them and stuff. But to be honest, this thing, it was feeling alright. The only thing is it does feel a little bit slowed down on purpose in some terrains, but I know it's the first vehicle in the game, but it'd be nice if upgrades went a little further. Yeah, the Voron A, I've kept the Voron A. It's funny actually, I had 630 grand yesterday, and today I only had 11 grand left, and then I had to sell this thing, and now I've still only got about 70 grand left of this. So yeah, I've spent about 700 grand in the last few days, or something like that anyway, yeah, because I sold something else as well. I can't remember what it was, but it's been good anyway. Treating myself to some things. As far as that TUZ bumper duplication thing goes, like, by now I'm perfectly happy with using it. If you remember ages ago, it duplicated a Taiga for me, and I just left that on White Valley, one as a bit of a, like, piece of bait to see if anything happens, if it glitches each time I, like, load the game back up and all sorts, but also I didn't want to, like, sell it and have, like, a free money boost, only for, like, nothing against anyone else that's duplicated vehicles and all sorts, do whatever the hell you want. It was like, at the time, I just wanted to go through the game without any, like, free gifts from the game sort of messing around. But by now, I've done near enough every mission, every contest. Like, I've earned more than enough money to where it's now just effort. To be honest, if they actually put, so you could reset the missions and redo them, I wouldn't have done the bumper thing because I'd have been doing a lot of missions, but yeah, I'm sort of limited to contests for making money, and if I'm honest, I don't really fancy doing like 50 to 100 hours of a contest just to earn like $1 million and then buy some trucks anyway. So yeah, it's been a pretty useful glitch for me. So anyway, I was originally going to go and attempt the cabin fever mission, but I just wanted to try out this low loader trailer, and then I got Dolphin and put the club on the back of it, and then of course can't go anywhere without a loaf. You can see originally, a minute ago, I've got that Dolphin, and I had those two ramp trailers. Obviously, one of the ramp trailers is connected to the Fleet Star. When I put the other Dolphin behind the ramp trailer, for some reason, it wouldn't let me connect the winch, even though there was it was within range. It's like a bit of a winch bug every now and then. I'm sure a lot of you guys have noticed it. As you go to winch to something, it doesn't necessarily offer you every winch point that's on the truck and stuff. So yeah, in the end, that's why I kind of jumped over to this and got this like wider sort of low loader trailer, because it's a tiny bit shorter, I believe, in total than the ramped flatbed, but I also just wanted to see if it makes any difference. So yeah, I also, as you can see, bought a Derry Longhorn 4520. I'm giving it another go now. I've had some spare dough that I've seen spent. Got a low loader on that, put the P16 on the back of that, and yeah, by now I was kind of like, well, I'd like to make a bit of a meaty train, and yeah, I just tested there before I put Bruce on this flatbed. I just tested that the winch would actually reach to the Derry. Yeah, so next thing, put Bruce on the flatbed. If I'm honest, he's a bit wide for the flatbed, and it's pretty close. The tyres are near enough hanging off each side. So I got to this point. I mean, pretty happy with it by now. There's a Dolphin, a Colob, a Bruce, a P16, a couple of loafs, and we're off. Got my Vor on there, fueling everyone up. I was looking around, not paying attention, smashed into a rock like 10 seconds or something after I set off. So if I just tipped everything then, I'd have been pretty pissed off. But yeah, some of the things I was trying to test was the length limits you can do on the trailer, because obviously to beyond a certain point it locks the physics of trucks in place. And I showed it in one of the videos yesterday or the day before, where it locked the GMC at the back in place, and I couldn't tow 4 trailers in a row. So I was kind of testing out the physics. Also the high rate, the Dolphin was actually struggling, not struggling, but it's not far off its limit in high range there. So I remembered then that I could attach something to the P16, so I went and stuck a ramped flatbed on, and this is where you're going to see the physics. This is why I was quite happy with the results of what I've been doing, but I genuinely just got completely distracted and ended up spending about 6 hours doing all of this. And then yeah, it was like 8 in the morning when I realised I've just wasted the entire night. Well, not wasted the entire night, but the entire night was gone. So you can see, I went to set off. If you look right at the back, the Navistar is now just locked in place with the physics. And I think the trailer was moving, but it was just locked against the Navistar anyway. So I moved the ramp trailer out of the way, went and grabbed a maintenance trailer, which to be honest I'd probably rather have anyway. But I was obviously tried to put the Navistar on the ramp flatbed. So now we have the meaty train. We've got a Dolphin, yeah, Colob, Bruce, P16. One maintenance trailer, one maintenance add-on on Bruce, which is an extra long, large maintenance add-on. Yeah, 2 loafs. Life's pretty good. Got about 3 or 4 trailers. It's going along in auto at the minute, and I was able to get into high, but yeah, this is definitely pushing it a little bit. I mean, I think you'll agree, that's a pretty goddamn long train. I reckon if I wasn't winching to the derry, the physics would probably lock about halfway down the length of Bruce, but obviously because at least some of him is inside, that's what she said, it doesn't lock Bruce just in place fully. But then once I winch to Bruce, that now extends the area around you that doesn't lock the physics kind of thing. So yeah, if I was able to somehow hook the derry to the back of me without a winch, it'd all just lock in place the rear half of this train. But because I'm able to winch halfway down it, kind of frees up the rest. That rear trailer, the maintenance trailer, might be locked, but because it's hooked to the P16 and it's some of it isn't locked, I believe it gets away with it. Going through there, I mean, damn near killed the frame rate. And again, I'd hardly ever get frame rate drops on this. This is the 3rd or 4th time ever even really seen it. Obviously it wasn't too happy breaking all that ice in one go. I didn't bother cutting through the bit of the ice where it would just sink me through, because in all honesty it did take me about 2 hours to build this truck. The Colob fell off sideways, Bruce fell off sideways, the loafs genuinely never fell off. Well, the one did when the Colob tipped off, but yeah, they stayed there the whole time. I didn't want to go through the water, drop in, it's something tilts, it all falls off, and then it'll take me another while to be honest. Now I know the design of this train, I could build it all back together pretty damn quickly, but obviously I was trying all different trucks and all sorts of different arrangements. I've cut a hell of a lot of the footage out, because otherwise this video would be 6 hours long. Even is it now? Yeah, I put the handbrake on. I'm still, normally the Dolphin locks up pretty well and stops, but yeah, that was all this weight behind me, it was not liking it. And there she is from the other side of the water. I brought a Vor on here, got a loaf on me just for no apparent reason, forced to have it. Yeah, so got the Dolphin with a low loader. It's called a low boy trailer or something. I'll just call it a low loader. Yeah, Colob on the back of that with a loaf on that with the roof rack, and then the Colob has got a ramped flatbed sticking out the back of the other low loader. Got Bruce on with a large maintenance add-on, and then I'm winching. The winch cable has to go from the back of the low loader to the derry, and then the derry has got a low loader. It's got the P16 on, got a loaf on top of that, and then the P16 has also got a maintenance trailer. So yeah, I mean, I've got about 4,000 litres of fuel. What's the repairs? 700. I've got some on the loaf. I've got about 1,100 repair points or something. I could have put another roof rack on the other loaf, but I just grabbed the loaf that didn't have one. And yeah, to be honest, the again, the Dolphin was like going pretty well considering all the weight I've got behind it. I believe by now as well, I may have edited it out, but I've taken all the fuel out of the derry now, so this is genuinely like, derry has no fuel, no power to it. I've winched to the derry, but this is now just pure Dolphin muscle. It's a bit, yeah, I could hardly fit it in the camera. I had to keep driving backwards. It's gonna have a look. I say, just loaf attached to me for no reason. Yeah, pretty happy with the results if I'm honest, but this is honestly about the limits of like the longest train, road train, off-road train things you can do. If they ever change the physics, I'm sure someone mentioned the other week that they might be changing the way like with the physics when it locks on. I don't know though, I can't confirm that, so like we'll wait and see. But yeah, don't take my word for it on that one. But it'd be cool if they do just get rid of the physics, because I don't really see the point. And then I've said before, it can kind of do you more harm than good, because something will lock into place, and then when you go to drive near it, or just as you attach a winch to it, it unlocks the physics, and sometimes that can make it kind of bounce back on its suspension, roll down a hill and pull you with it because you've just stuck a winch on it. So yeah, I'd say it does more harm than good. I'd rather just a vehicle rolls and settles to wherever it's going to roll. And if there was no physics, I could have a hell of a lot. I could have a train really from like here to the garage, and I would attempt it. I kind of started to attempt it the other day. Luckily, I just tested it 4 trailers in instead of 40 trailers in. I do like the sound of the ice breaking. But that bit of ice I just went through, normally you don't smash through there, but like I broke a hell of a lot of the ice. This here you can smash through more, and as you can see I was kind of sticking to the right edge of it because I didn't really want to go too far, just in case. 'Cause I honestly thought, oh, it's just going to lock up. So the frame rate's not liking it again. I do like how the ice seems to sink a bit when you're driving on it, even before whether it's broke or not, but it seems to like dip down a bit and you see water kind of seeping up, I suppose, and then it pulls on the top of the ice. I sort of think that's pretty cool. Like, they've done an incredibly good job with the ice. The only thing is, there's just sometimes the loose blocks of ice kind of glitch into you a bit and then lock you into place. But overall, I definitely do like it. So you can see there, I knew something wasn't good when the Dolphin just locked up. So I've got the Voron A. It's basically one of the biggest problems that it seemed to be was that low loader trailer. For whatever reason, it seems like quite a heavy trailer anyway. Obviously, it doesn't help that I've got a P16 sat on the back of it, which is one of the heaviest trucks in the game. You see there where the club just slid off to the side? I basically saved the footage quickly and then closed the application, reloaded the game, and I was back like... They seem to have put a bigger gap now between saves. It used to be pretty much every minute. It was like every 55 seconds, and it saved for 5 seconds. Now, sometimes it can be like 3 or 4 minutes. It seems like, I don't know, I wouldn't even say it's like every 3 or 4 minutes. Sometimes I've seen it like take 4 minutes odd, sometimes it seems to still be like a minute or so. So anyway, in the end, I couldn't get through, I could drive through that gap, but the club kept tipping off the trailer. In the end, I just reversed the club off the Dolphin low loader, drove the Dolphin here, drove the club up onto it, And now, it was around this area where these trees glitch. And like I say, I know this is one big like trial and error. That's why I've sort of heavily edited it. But for any of you guys that are wanting to try this sort of stuff, yeah, I just wanted to show you some sort of do's and don'ts of hauling these big low loader trailers. Like, I don't necessarily think it's the fault of this trailer, but I kind of glitched into that tree a bit. Fortunately, I was able to winch from the front and it just kind of span me around a bit. Got to about here and the colob slipped off. And honestly, at this point I was like, oh my god. But I'd spent about 4 hours or something getting here, so I was like, there's no way I'm just stopping now. You can see I had a little winch cable sort of stuck to the side of the trailer and the side of the colob, but it didn't help. I got to about here. Luckily, it hadn't saved at this point, so I yeah, closed the application, reloaded the game. I was a little bit back again. I believe, in fact, I was so far back I had to drive the colob onto the trailer again. It started tipping again, but not quite as bad this time. I was like, we'll see. We'll risk it. You can definitely see the weight in the trailers pushing me along with it. I was like, oh god. Have I gone too far? I'm looking around thinking, well, there's only one thing left to do. Keep it pinned, fingers crossed. I was so happy when I seen them front tyres get up. I was like, oh, thank God. If that started scooting along the lip of that, I would have been gone. Well, we ain't out the woods yet. So basically, it started leaning, and I think the tyres of this were kind of catching on that rock. I was trying to reverse up on the trailer. I do think the muds are over punished on, you know, like, I know there's slippery surfaces, but still. Like, I couldn't reverse up back onto the trailer, basically. In the end, I was like, sod it, I'm going for it. What could possibly go wrong? So because these low loaders, like, the way it's a gooseneck, when you turn, as you can see, like, the trailer goes to the left of my Dolphin quite a lot, so it's quite hard to get through that gap. That's definitely what she said. But yeah, just about made it. I kind of, again, sometimes just flooring it and fingers crossed is genuinely the best option, because if you slow down, you give something time to kind of, it's a bit like riding a bike. If you try and sit on a bike when you're not moving, it's very hard to balance. Once you're moving, it's like you stay upright on the bike more, and yeah, if you stop, you give things time to lean left and right sometimes. So, Dolphin and Colob and Loaf, they made it. Now, I felt every single metre of this journey. The ice kept locking in my tyres. This point along here is like, it is ice. I noticed it on the other video where I had the big super cool as Ford Loaf Tastic Expert Tasbury's Dolphin truck. But I've smashed all the ice when I brought the Dolphin and Colob and everything through here. All the ice keeps popping up and going between my tyres and all sorts, and it just kept locking me into place. As you can see, it was daytime, I believe, when I attempted to set off. It's now night time. Pretty good lights though on the Derry. Yeah, I'm going to edit most of this out. I just wanted to leave a little bit of gameplay because I've not particularly done a lot of gameplay in the Derry. I don't think that many other people have. Like, I'm sure, obviously, there is plenty of videos, but overall, I would assume it's probably on the lower end of, like, videos because, yeah, it's a little bit gutless. I do like the rear steer on it though. Got around that corner very nice. Trailer's tipping, but that's one of the good things with when I'm transporting stuff like this. Like, because that the ramp on the low loader, I've kind of put it up and then attached the trailer. It's kind of locking the back of the P16 in place to where it can't really slide left or right from the back end because, yeah, that trailer's gone through the gap of the ramps. And as you can see there, the trailer was tipping and all sorts, but it had no choice. It didn't really have anywhere else to go. It's certainly not going to overpower a P16. Like, that thing weighs a ton, so yeah, the trailer's just gonna have to follow along. So I'm pretty much coming up to the point where you find the TUZ-16, cutting back through that way. And again, I won't leave loads of it, but it was nice to see how it was doing. I mean, overall, I wasn't particularly disappointed at this bit. Obviously, I'm in low range diffs on. It certainly wouldn't be liking it in auto. High range, I'll be honest, earlier, I was going down a slight hill with this low loader trailer with nothing on it. I'm pretty certain, yeah, there was nothing on it. And it started stalling in high gear when I was going down a hill, and it's like, how the hell do you even... I didn't even know that was possible. But in certain situations, like, there is the right kind of just about enough there that, yeah, it was slow and painful getting to it. Like, it probably took me a good hour alone just doing that journey, but it's not necessarily all the Derry's fault. It's just this trailer does dig in a lot. That route I had to take, there's a hell of a lot of loose rocks in that line around, and they really do. Once a rock lifts your tyre up to a certain degree, it just steals all the power from that axle. It's not touching anything, and it's like, yeah. Which may well happen in real life. I'm not saying that particular bit is unrealistic, but it's certainly, you definitely know about it. So I used a winch from the back, pull into like a tree that was kind of halfway down my truck. Managed to get the rear wheels up. So here we go, we'll see how it goes. Started already swinging to the left. I was like, oh my god, it's all gone wrong already. I now was, like, I believe I had the handbrake on the whole time. And that started slipping again. I used it a good few times tonight, really. Closed the application, loaded the gate. I mean, it takes about, what, 2 minutes to do that versus, I don't know how long to reverse the P16 off, detach the trailer, thread it between the ramps. Like, I certainly wouldn't recommend this as an efficient way of travel by any means, but it's pretty fun to see how far you can kind of take it and how much the physics will let you get away with so far. Yeah, I was just kind of savouring the moment a bit there, like I usually do when I get here. There's my trailers down at the bottom from the last attempt. I honestly thought already, I was like, oh my god. And I was looking now and it's saying saving on the right hand side, and I was like, oh shit. I've got no choice. Got to try it. See, the weight of that gooseneck and the P16 on it was starting to push my front and my back round to the side. It's going now, and maintenance trailer's gone. Is it going to take me with it? You see, now, I did make a mistake. I should have kept more to the right, but because of the gooseneck, like I said, as I turn, the kind of hitch of the trailer is connected more to the middle of my truck than the back, so it swings quite far out as you cut a corner. Like, this trailer really wants to cut a corner. And you see there, the P16 fell. It landed, and I was like, went to go and check on my loaf, like, where the bloody hell is it? Looking around like, Jesus Christ, speak to me, loaf. Bloody P16 landed on him. He's good. He's a goddamn professional. But yeah, the P16, like, full on dropped and about smashed him into the floor. Like, the P16 is near enough sitting on the floor, but popped me loaf out. I mean, like I said, it's goddamn professional. Scared that tree. And now, I wasn't really here to try this, so I literally gave it one go. I attached the winch. That's one thing I would say, and again, I know it's to do with, like, the game difficulty or whatever, but when you stall, when you're vertical, it'd be really convenient if it didn't do that. If I was at a vehicle, obviously, at the top, I could hopefully winch to the loaf, but this was rolled, and I could pull the loaf up that way. Even if the loaf stalls, it wouldn't matter if I'm on the other vehicle, but yeah. Let go of the trailer. Time to cut her loose. That then landed on the loaf as well. Loaf saved the trailer. Now, this is a glitch I wanted to show you. Obviously, I switched to the Dolphin. The Colob, I mean, it's gone ball joints deep. It's inside the low loader trailer. like fully. They're both touching the floor now. It flipped my dolphin, but the dolphin was not. Dolphin doesn't play them games. He flipped it back, slapping it around a bit. I was trying to floor out there. Come on. Drop the hammer. Give it some of them horsepowers. And it was fighting. I don't know what the hell the club was doing, but I'm going to go out on a limb and guess this is possibly the trailer more than the collab, because for some reason the other gooseneck freaked out on me when I used that months ago. But I did get out, as you can see though, it did smash the engine of the collab up pretty nicely. It's still driving, it didn't stall on me or anything. And then lastly, you've got to be careful for this sort of stuff. It might be this area of the map. This is where the trees glitched into me the other day. It's just the other side of the cliff really. I reversed to turn around and then look at it. It's just like the tree is hoovering the trailer in. For some reason it starts twisting the trailer. It's twisting the tree as well, and yeah. It flipped me. Which, if I'm honest, I had nowhere. I wasn't going anywhere or anything anyway. But still, it's not the point. The tree is now on the list. Hopefully, if when they add mods to consoles, I hope they add the option to just recover trailers to the garage, because I'll be loaded the day I can do that. And yeah, like I say, that was about it. Just mainly a messing around video, testing a lot of things tonight. Tomorrow, yeah, I'm going to do most likely the TranStar review, and then pretty soon it's going to be the TranStar or the CK, most likely the TranStar though, and then yeah, I'll most likely do the CK pretty soon in the next few days. I'm not actually sure when that new map, like the second part of Phase 1 DLC, is coming out, but it can't be too long now because it's been on the test server for a good little while now, I think. Anyway, dived both of them off there, landed on the loaf again with a collab, but like I said, it's a goddamn horse of a vehicle. That's why you need to get yourself a loaf. Took it like a goddamn champion. I mean, what's it got, like an eighth of its suspension damage, about a quarter of its engine, gearbox is completely fine, fuel tank's completely fine. I suppose the tyres could be damaged, but there's no burst tyres, so we'll count that. Gets itself out of there. I mean, it is a bit cockeyed. Took one hell of a beating, but it made it. Anyway, that's about it for today. I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.